6 years in, I was walking between two Humvees when they hit. They crushed me in between them. I suffered a mild traumatic brain injury, an incomplete spinal cord injury, nervous system damage, paralyzed in my left leg, left shoulder, and right foot, and suffer from blood pressure and heart issues on a daily basis. The first thing the doctors told me was I shouldn't be alive, that I should be dead, that there's no reason I was even moving. And then a few years after they started diagnosing everything, because it was a long process, it was you'll be on medication the rest of your life. You'll be sitting in a chair doing nothing. And it took me to the bottom. You really feel alone, sitting at home in your apartment, disabled, where you know your unit's off there fighting and you didn't even get a chance to go see them leave. You know, they're just gone. And so you start spiraling really bad. And then I looked into the VA and the military to help me, and at that time they were focused on combat. And I was told that you're not a combat vet, so you will be last. You will wait. And everything that I was feeling was just piled on and just dropped me deeper and deeper and deeper. I looked at veterans organizations, but did never feel worthy because I wasn't a combat vet. I was just injured in training, walking between two Humvees. And I applied for several different camps or programs, but it was always denied, and I just went back to I wasn't worthy. There were those veterans out there that served, that were in combat, that really suffered. And No Barriers, at the time No Barriers Warriors now is what they're called, they gave me a shot, and I made it onto the Mission Mount Whitney team. And going through that training and talking to those people opened up my life to everyone else. I was still shut off at the time when I started the program, still living in an apartment by myself, barely going out, barely doing anything. And they showed me that I could be myself, that I was worthy, that I did deserve to live. A lot of friends that talk about losing limbs, being shot, people they lost. And it's a fight for me. To feel worthy that my service was anything compared to theirs. So, like, No Barriers gave me the chance to sit with them and talk with them and to see that they didn't see me any different. That the fact that I'd served was enough.
I was Craig's martial arts instructor when I was 15 years old. Craig has always been a protector, has always been quiet and stoic, and I wasn't gonna have it. I wasn't gonna accept it. So I was always loud and in his face, and went to a martial arts tournament and my mother was driving. I was so young, and I turned around and looked at him and I said, your biggest problem is that you just need to stop being timid. And he went his way and I went mine. I went to college, got married, had 2 children, 2 beautiful boys. Life happened, got divorced, and sitting in Starbucks 17 years later, I was with my children and he was sitting at the end of the table. And he walked up to me and he said, I know exactly who you are. And your words have rung through my life forever. And you sitting in the front seat, turning around with your loud firecracker voice saying, stop being timid, is what gave me the strength to stand up and walk and crawl to the bathroom and walk my dogs. And I just wanted you to know that I remember you. So I was still broken from life that had happened to me. And I made him wait 1.5 years before I would even let him take me on a date. And in true Craig form, he waited patient. He wasn't a person who sat around and said, I'm broken, I'm hurt. He held it all inside. When he got accepted into Mission Mount Whitney, this spark came over him. Things changed. He came to me and he said, I'm hurting today, instead of holding it all in. And that's when I went ahead and said, come into our life, and opened up. And him opening up allowed me to open up. And then together we've healed and grown as a family. And I watch him change every day. We talked about what happens if your spine fails. And the answer to that question is you're paralyzed. That being said, the cost of going on that climb was nothing compared to the cost of not. So I had to put a lot of faith in the guides. I sent him, and then I was a week hearing nothing, literally nothing. And in the age of cell phones, that never happens. And he got to the top of the mountain, and there was self-service. And I didn't get a message, but I got the most beautiful pictures. And the first picture I got was the sun coming over the mountains. The second picture I got was him standing there with the sun coming over the mountains. And then the third picture I got just sent me into tears. My family is a group of veterans, and they were all standing there with the most beautiful American flag I've ever seen, and the sun coming through it. Each one of them there, each one of them happy, each one of them I know hungry and cold, but they all made it. And I knew that whatever they accomplished on that trip was gonna be long lasting, forever and always. And that was all I got, and that was all I needed.
You still look at the top going, can I make it? Can I make it? And you're just one foot in front of the other, one foot in front of the other. And when you start doubting yourself because you're tired or you're sore or you're hungry or you're cold, you just look at the people around you and go, if I quit, they might quit. And so I have to make it so they can make it. And I guess for me, the big journey from being injured to getting up Mount Whitney was learning to believe in people. That there may be 9 out of 10 that you can't count on, you can't believe in, that everything negative happens, but there's that one. And from Brian, who came and got me at the hospital, to Jeff, our guide, that got us all to the top of Mount Whitney, to my wife. There's always someone.
I hope and pray that all of the people out there, veterans, combat, not, joining, don't, that they understand that there are people out there and there are programs out there, and this is one of them that can really help them move forward and take those steps forward in their life and find their own self and realize that, yeah, it sucks and you hurt, and maybe you just hurt on the inside. Maybe it's not on the outside. But you need to move forward, and you need to find people who understand you, and you need help with finding that place. And I'm just grateful. I'm grateful for the program. I'm grateful for what it gave him. I'm grateful that what it gave him didn't just affect him, but it affected an entire family. And every one of them on that climb are like that. It started with them, but they're just a pebble in a pond. The ripples that they have going out from them will affect so many lives. So I was scared, and I sent him, and I'm happy. And I would send him this year, and I would send him every year. And I would encourage anyone to go. And I would encourage any wife, sister, girlfriend, mother to make them fill out the paperwork. They have to go. As our life has progressed and grown, we've found more happiness and more tragedy. We didn't think we could have children. I found out I was pregnant. We lost the baby. We got pregnant again. We lost a second baby. But every day we have these 2 beautiful lives in this house already, and it's made us really hold on to them and be happy. And even though, we're a blended family, it doesn't matter. Love is thicker than blood in this house. So through the tragedy and through all that Craig has learned and all he's been through, we've found that faith carries us every day. And nothing is harder than learning to walk again. Nothing is harder than finding people who understand you. So we'll continue to move forward. So we're remodeling the house. We will look forward to Paralympics 2016 overseas, if that's meant to be. We'll, as a family, help train and eat and cook, and Craig's making me run and I hate it, but we'll continue to move forward.
I hope I'm up there high enough after all my racing that I get selected and actually go to the Paralympics in Rio in 2016. So it's a long road, and just, I've been doing paratriathlon for 6 years now. So this is kind of the accumulation of everything that I've done and everything that I've worked for. And Whitney gave me the focus, just to go, that's the goal, this is what I got to do to get there, and kind of like going up to the summit that morning, one foot in front of the other, and just keep going. As much as the climb did for me, I missed being here. And it's one of those, she goes, you go to climb every year, or do whatever you need to do, but don't want to be anywhere else. I mean, it's going to be hard just going to a weekend race, just traveling the little I am this year to get the points and everything I need. I just want to be here with my family.